Hey, Trent.
Hello, Lou. How are you?
I'm not too
Not
shabby.
too shabby. We are the tarot dealers.
Yeah.
We are. So I'm Trent. This is Lou. And between us, we have lots and lots and
Lots and lots and lots, lots of years of experience,
yeah, talking tarot, reading tarot, teaching tarot, all things
mentoring,
tarot.
all
Yeah.
the things, which reminds me, Trent does a lot of one-on-one
Yes.
teaching. So you get
Teaching.
that
Yeah.
really personal experience,
Yes, I
don't you,
do.
Trent,
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
space? Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So it's like teaching reading from my beautiful teacher, reading intuitively,
Yeah.
not actually reading the books. You're reading the cards intuitively, using your own intuition and what you're seeing on the cards. So yeah,
Yeah. So the see, feel, know method.
exactly, exactly.
See, feel, and know.
Yes.
So yeah, so we do have a lot of experience between us, and we do different things, and we do things together, and we do
Yeah.
things apart. But this we do together,
Let's go
and
do
we love
together.
it because it's
Yes,
our jam,
it
isn't
is.
it?
It
Yeah.
really is. So we are going to do the January energies.
2026.
2026 of
Yeah.
January energies. Like seriously, I know 2025 was a pretty shitty year, but where the hell did it go?
Oh my God, I know, right? I'm like, it's like
It's
blinked.
just, yeah.
My cousin, I spent a lot of time with my cousin, one of my cousins, I have many cousins, and anyway, she sends me this text, or she's talking to me about it, where there's this princess type. Her crown's all sideways, the hair's all fucking up in the air. She's got a cigarette hanging out of her mouth, and she's going, "What the fuck was that?" And she's talking about 2025.
25.
And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully 2026 we get to straighten
We
the
go straight,
crown,
yeah.
brush the
Yeah.
hair, put the durry out, and go forward. But something tells me it's going to
It,
be until mid-year.
I think it's going to start off as it's continued,
Absolutely.
but I do think it will be a better year overall.
I think so too. Like my sense is it won't be quite as intense. I think it will be as fast, and I
Yeah.
think it will be a little bit more direction is the feeling that I'm getting. Like I feel like people have their agendas or they have their goals
Yeah.
and they're kind of aiming for that. I don't think we'll get derailed as
Yeah.
as
As quickly and as much as we did.
fast
Yeah.
as what we have
Yeah.
been. I think we're more um
We're more
just sort of,
straight, more focused, aren't we? Straightforward,
yeah,
aren't we?
and I think there's
Yeah.
the time of like standing up and speaking
Yeah.
up now, I think, has come about
Well, we're not
in a
taking,
different way. And we're not taking the crap like,
no, we're not taking the
um,
bullshit that we have done.
no, we
Yeah.
haven't. And I'm not, and even like collectively, like on social media, you'll see that, and I'm not going to talk about any specific cases because fuck, I'm not going there.
No.
But let's say, you're watching something on social media and the message is that this person had done something wrong to another person. And whereas once upon a time, the person who had been wronged would be really, really, really put down.
Yeah.
And that kind of behavior is not being tolerated. Like
No.
this,
No.
this person's family was present and was staring down the person
They're not hiding away, are
who
they?
yeah,
Yeah.
and what's happened is the community and people on social media are actually now jumping in and saying, you know what, we're not
Yeah.
copying that
Yeah.
behavior anymore. Like we're not copying it. And I
Yeah.
and I feel like there's going to be a lot more of that.
Yeah.
So where you might have been the underdog in the past, or where you might have been bullied previously, or all of that, I feel like people just aren't copying it
They're
anymore. They're seeing it for what it is.
calling it out.
They are calling it out. Like understanding what the manipulation is, and sort of saying, you know what, no,
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. So, and yet there's this other side to that, which is very much respecting the individual and who they
Yeah.
actually are,
And the choices they
their
make.
choices they're
Yeah.
making, and how they wish to be represented in
Yeah.
the world. I think is there's more openness
Open.
to that
Yeah.
now. Not woke, right? I'm
No.
not talking about the woke stuff or the gentle parenting,
Yeah.
not talking about that. It's just more how people are more accepting, I think, of
Mm.
their own surroundings
Yeah.
and the people that are around
Around
them.
them.
And if they're sort of crossing the lines of back to the old way of thinking and the top down
Yeah.
way of being, dictatorship, like it's out,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. It's
It's
a.
out.
Yeah.
And really feel like, yeah, these last few months have been very much showing us that. And it's 2026
Yeah, it will continue, isn't it? Shining the light on what needs to be brought out into the light.
well, I think it will, but I think things are going to be changed in a way that is more cohesive, I feel.
More togetherness sort of thing.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
community
Yeah.
based stuff, more work from there, more come together, what's needed here, as opposed to here, fill in this form, this is
Yeah,
what you got to
exactly.
do. You know what I mean? I just think that shit's still
Yeah.
going to be there. Like that's not going to change overnight, right? But I just think there's just different things, people being held accountable. What did I see? Something on some social media thing about someone was justifying why the powers that be were spending money on being with their families and their families allowed to travel with them. And literally this interviewer turned around, nearly ate them alive and was like, so what you're saying is that, the miners and the nurses and the FIFOs are not as important as your family. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not tolerating that anymore.
Exactly.
So I think it's that kind of stuff, that kind of accountability. So therefore that will need to be looked at. Well, that person was very loud.
That was very loud, very loud.
Very loud. But they're gone now.
They're gone.
So that's okay. So yeah, maybe that part will get loud.
I think if that was an indication,
If that's an indication, maybe they'll get loud.
I think it will. I
Yeah.
think, yeah, definitely. I think it's going to get, if that's an indicator, it's going to get louder. There's going to be more people come, not a pile on, but there's more people going, no, that's not it. No, how about you think about, and I think there'll be more changes in the rules and in legislation that
I think so.
some people who think they're elite now we're going to get brought down quite a few pegs.
Yeah, it's just that's just how we're feeling about the beginning of the year. And of course, we're dealing with a whole different energy than what we've had previously.
Yeah.
So very interesting. So we're going to do the card.
We'll do the card of the episode. We'll do the card of the episode. Let's just see what we need to know about this episode, which is the January 2026 energies. So what do we need to know leading into this episode? What do we need to keep in our focus? So we're using the Light Seers deck. So that's the one. We have talking about beginnings, we have the Page of Pentacles. We have the Page of Pentacles. I love this card. I love the size of the pentacle. That's where I'm going to, the size of the pentacle. I know the pentacles are our money, our wealth, our finances, but to me, that size of the pentacle and where it is over the heart, I think it really is. We're going to start looking after ourselves more. And quite literally what Lou was just saying about community, that is, we're coming back to ourselves.
Back to our roots.
We really are. We really are coming back to ourselves. I'm just looking at that. I'm now looking at the expression on her face. She's really looking down, isn't she? I suppose like grounding herself.
Yeah.
It's grounding. We are really grounding ourselves. And look at where that pentacle is over the heart. We're opening our hearts as well. We really are. Maybe, and because it's a pentacle, maybe we're looking after our bodies a lot more than what we have done in the past.
Yeah, there might be some new things for health.
Yes.
Very interesting that you say that. I feel like looking at that card that just going into the year, that is about the resources, right?
Yeah.
So new resources, new ways of working with the resources, but also when I bring that back to the individual, it's about the protection of one's own resources.
Yes.
Right? Because she's got that looking down thing, like, is this something that I want to share? Is it beneficial to share for everyone? Or is it something that I need to reserve? So I think there's going to be a lot more authenticity around that. Yeah, fascinating. Let's see. Let's see. All right, here we go.
Yeah, now, like always, we do 4 cards.
4 or 4.
4 or 4. 4 rows of 4. So let's just see what we need to know for the month of January 2026. What do we need to know for January 2026? Let's just see. All right, that's the one. All right, let's just see. Oh
Ah,
God.
you'll see in a minute.
Yeah.
And we're using both using the right away deck
Yeah.
here.
So let's just see where we're going. Oh, we start off the month with the tower. So we could say, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day comes out with, the fireworks,
Literally.
literally, quite literally. But I think that's leading, and it's exactly what we were talking about, and especially Lou was saying, there's things that are breaking down.
Yeah.
They're breaking down because they're no longer needed or they're not working anymore. And the only way to get through it is they need to break down. Which then leads us to the Three of Pentacles, which is very much about that teamwork, isn't it? It's like we're realizing we can't do all of this on our own. We
Yeah.
need support. We need people around us to move forward. And we move forward into the Six of Cups. Again, it comes back to the teamwork and the sharing not so much ideas, but I know cups of feeling our emotions, but it could come down to we need to really start opening ourselves up. But how are we feeling about things? Because it's been too long we've been squashing our feelings, hiding what we really feel, what we really need to say.
Yeah, there's been a lot
Yeah.
of that. And I'm too afraid to say it because I'm
Yeah.
going to be penalised,
Yeah.
judged, criticised,
Exactly.
confined, like
Yeah.
whatever it
Yeah.
is, you know.
So yeah, I think we might start to go, oh, no, you need to hear this. I need to tell you how I am feeling or where I am at the moment. But like I said, for too long, we've been ignored or pushed to the side or said we're not important, quite literally.
Mm.
And then we move into the Magician. So we start the month with the Tower, and by the end, if we go off weeks, the first week we ended with the Magician. So there is more magic coming, quite literally. And it's us bringing the magic and not
Yeah.
waiting for magic to come. We're bringing it. We're bringing the magic. We're bringing the ideas. We've got all the tools. We know how to do it. We know what to do. It's just now time to actually do it instead of sitting back waiting for other people to do it. It's no, we need to do it. Followed by the Page of Wands. So that's where that doing side comes.
Ah, this is pretty much a doing.
It's where that doing. So we've cleared the decks. We've cleared the decks. We've cleared out. I don't know about you, but I have cleared so much out of my house this past week.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
me a month ago,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah,
hang on.
yeah, yeah,
Wait, there's more.
quite literally, I have cleared out the garage. I mean, I think I've been to the op shops twice. We put stuff on the footpath for the dump run.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
there is so much that we have cleared out
That's
that you
awesome.
realize we don't use.
Yeah.
We don't need that other people can use, that we can give it away. So yeah, so I think clearing the decks, allowing for new to come in. If we look at the Magician and the Page of Wands, both are saying newness are coming in, new ideas, new way of doing things. Moving into the Nine of Pentacles, where we have more freedom, quite literally more freedom than we have felt like we've had before. But this is freedom within ourselves. We feel like we're not.
Interesting because the card that Tren drew, first of all, at the beginning was the Page of Pentacles, right? So it's like the freedom with our resources, or the freedom with
Yeah.
kind of connecting. I can see that. Yeah,
it really is. It's like we're starting to realize what we do actually have behind us, what is supporting us, and not so much looking for external validation or external help. It's like, no, we've got this.
Yeah.
And it's just freeing ourselves up to go further. The next card, which is my favorite card, is Death. But it really is indicating complete transformation that we're going through.
Yeah.
It's funny because we start with the Page of Wands and end with the Page of Swords. So
I was looking at that
it's
and I was like,
oh, quite literally, that whole week or those four cards are indicating huge change.
Absolutely.
Huge change.
It's like the looking back to check in.
Yeah, to check in. Yes, I'm still on the right track. Maybe I'm not ready to take that step, but I am taking that step. I just need to keep looking back to make sure I've got all the information. Do I need more? Do I need to research a bit more? Maybe I just need to just stop for a bit. Because then we follow it with the 5 of Cups. So coming from that, we might need to just go, maybe I have gone backwards into the past, and sort of maybe I need to just sort through some shit, basically, to recognize what I do have. But I need to leave that shit behind us. You can't take it with you. It's like taking the past into the present. Like leave it behind,
right? Yeah.
Leave it behind. You were there, you did what you had to do with the information or how you were. You've changed through that experience. So just don't bring that experience back into the present, because it's not going to work. And it's funny because you following that's the Fool. So I love this. You're following the Fool. You really are. It's almost like you're going up and down, up and down, up and down. You really are. But with the Fool, it's like, yep, no matter what, I'm going. I'm taking that step. I'm whether I'm prepared or not, I'm taking it.
There's lots of new starts in this.
It is. And then you've got the King of Pentacles right beside the Fool. So it's like you're recognizing your abundance, you're recognizing your skills, you're recognizing the resources that you have.
Yeah. Do you reckon it's like a level up? Like, you know, where we cycle around and then we applying more knowledge and going again.
Yeah, I think it's definitely leveling up, because we follow it with the Ace of Cups. So it's leveling up to go into the new. Even though we have been preparing and we have been working through the newness, with the Ace of Cups, it's very much a new way of feeling within ourselves.
Yeah, a new way of feeling. I like that.
A new way of feeling within ourselves. And it's like, you're recognizing that I don't have to feel like everybody else. You know, this is how I feel, and I'm trusting how I feel, which has taken us a long time to get to that point.
Oh God, yeah.
It's a long time. And so, and talking about leveling up, we go from the Ace of Cups to the 10 of Cups. So we are leveling up. There's quite a few things here, just saying we're not just, it's not going step by step. It's like we're going leveling up.
Yeah, and it's kind of like also feeling the whole range of emotions, you know, everything, but quickly.
But quickly. Yeah, we really are, because after the 10 of Cups, we've got the 2 of Cups. So it is, we are finding those connections, and whether they're new connections or old or revisiting whatever, but it's people coming together, whether it's community coming together or you reaching out to the community, it's coming together. But we have the 9 of Wands, so we really are standing our grounds, putting the boundaries up that we are not going to accept what we have done previously. Yeah. We're not accepting the past anymore.
No.
We have moved so far forward that we cannot go back.
Yeah.
And it's a real point of difference where we like, no, this is it. This is my stand now. Because then it's funny because we've got 2 9s straight away, and we've got the 9 of Cups straight after that. So we really are putting ourselves front and center, going, I am ready for whatever is coming. I am open to new opportunities, but look at what I have achieved previously.
I think that acknowledgement of what we've achieved individually, collectively, is really important.
I think it's huge.
And I think which is allowing the push-pull flexibility of, okay, we're starting, I'll pull back a bit. We're starting, I'll pull back a bit.
Because we're not rushing into anything.
No.
We're not rushing.
No, even though the emotions are quick and it's a whole gamut of things, it looks like we've got to a point where we're able to process it quicker. What is it saying in terms of we're not tolerating the same shit anymore? It's like, not that old chestnut again.
Yes.
Not that old chestnut.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, literally we're going, no, not that old chestnut.
No, literally it's like been there, done that, got the T-shirt, don't need to do it again.
Don't try and bring that story back, dude. We're not believing that.
And you're seeing through what the stories, and you're going, that's just a story that I've moved past.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yes. So I'm going to take a photo of this.
Oh, yeah.
So you can see.
I think I say that every session. Oh, yeah. Every episode, rather. Yeah. So you do that and I'll get ready for the energies. So Tren does like the more personal, individualized readings in terms of the January energies. So And I tend to have a look at, I don't know why.
It's just the way we work. Isn't it?
Yeah,
It's just the way it's the way it's come about.
bit more of the world stage
Yeah.
stuff. So see what's going on in that. But please let us know, like give us a feedback, like after, if you find, yeah, look, that was relevant for me, or no, I interpreted it this way, you know, or because I never remember what I say, and I'm sure Trent
I
doesn't
don't
either.
remember.
So
No idea.
yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
We'd love to know if that worked. So the energies of January 2026, can you please show us and give us some insight into what it is we need to be aware of for the highest good of all, for the collective?
Yeah, they're falling out. They're jumping out.
So kind of starting with a bit of a loss. So I'm just going to put that card to the side, and I'll finish doing the thing.
So what jumped out was the Seven of Swords.
Oh,
so
yeah,
we just put that to the side.
Yeah. Sorry. Seven of Swords, right? Which can be about loss, betrayal, theft. It can be about just quietly leaving a situation too. So it might be about that. So we might see this year, January, focus on January, where we see people leaving certain situations, and going, no, I don't want to be part of that anymore. That's my feeling about that. So starting with all of this, and we will have a look at what cards have repeated.
Already come out.
Yeah, and see what's going on.
Is it now, just looking at this, I had a lot of cups, didn't I? At the moment, Lou's got a lot of pentacles.
Shit ton of pentacles. So what I'm going to say, first of, just looking at that, be prepared, don't be surprised. Changes in how finance operates, in news around finance. I think there'll be a lot of financial stuff that is looked at potentially in January. So, and that too can be from, if I chunk that back just to an individual kind of collective space from the people, then that's more about making sure it's almost like this financial check.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's kind of like what I'm getting here. Only of course this is, I'm looking a little bit bigger as well. So a little bit more of a world stage, we might start to see some big shifts and some big changes in that space. So when I look at the first week or so, I too, in almost the same position, have the Three of Pentacles, which is the second card which is about finding that stability. Right. And understanding that there is change. Now, this change seems to be led by a man. So there is a man who was leading this change that says, we're going to make some total transformation. And for some reason, I'm feeling that is around land or property. I don't know why, but that's what I'm
where you're going.
Yeah. So that might be changes to, I don't know, something to do with land or property. I don't necessarily see it as building, but I'm kind of hearing all of this kind of stuff. So it might be a bit like that. That's the first week of January, like fucking hell. So yeah, lots going on. Death is also up here. So that is total transformation, complete transformation. And that either side of that transformation and setting that stability in that first week, we have cups. So that then touches back with what Tren was saying in terms of the new feelings. Right. So I do feel that there'll be new feelings and new ways of expressing. So we might see world stage. Wouldn't it be great, right, to actually watch those leaders not fucking take jabs at each other personally and talk about that shit? Like, wouldn't it be great just to have a fucking planning day conversation in front where you're not including that? Like, we get fired in a place like that.
Exactly.
Businesses wouldn't last if we did that shit.
The bullying that goes on is just ridiculous.
The name calling, the finger pointing. Like, wouldn't it be great if that didn't happen, right? So anyway, back to the story. So it seems to be this new level of emotion. Now that may be around some new voices coming through. That's potentially maybe, and I mean they're out like politicians are on holidays around that time, so I don't understand why that's showing there. But nonetheless, that's
something's coming in.
Something is definitely coming in. When we look at the second week, very much about the finance, like the holding on of something. So we have like the Four of Pentacles here, which often can be like a card of scarcity, where we're trying to hold on to the way something was. And I'm feeling that potentially we might have a little needing to understand both sides of this coin, pardon the pun, on a new system and an old system, and sort of having diversity in that space is what I want to say, because we have the Six of Pence, right? Six of Pentacles. So it's about that balance, that harmony. It's about giving, receiving. Which position are you in today? Are you open to both? So there seems to be, in terms of finance, things coming in a little bit more equal. Now I'm going to go back to a comment Trent said, and I can't remember exactly what it was around, but you said something about the elite and the changes and
bring him down a little bit.
So I think here we might see a little bit more balance,
equality,
a little bit more equality. Thank you for that. That's the word I was looking for. So it might be that we're going to start to see that a little bit more fairness around some things, right? Now, I don't think that's going to happen overnight, but I do feel, maybe there's some exposure in that space. So something's happening there financially. We then move on to the Four of Wands. So it's talking about community, right? Community celebration also. So it talks about big celebration. So I feel like, I don't know, is there financial reform? I don't understand. Like I'm looking at this thinking, wow, but too soon to be in January.
It's too soon,
Not making sense.
Everybody's still
it's still on holidays. I'm not understanding, but anyway, I'll just give you what I get. So there is this connection to community. So we might see a bit in that space. Maybe that's just where people start to come together a lot more, shared resources, that kind of thing, followed by the Ace of Pentacles. So again, lots of pentacles, right? So it's kind of things can come out of the blue, like out of this cloud, like where things have been unclear, into the clarity around finance. And that includes resources, right? So there may even be a look at how the resources work. So how is the electricity working? Are we looking at new forms of how to do that? That it's resources. So something like that. We move into the third week, and we have the ten of Pentacles, which is like, now this is interesting because Brenna had this cut in cups.
The ace and the 10 in cups.
Ace and the 10 following, and I've got this in Pentacles. So it's definitely like the whole range of.
It really is.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
That's really interesting, isn't it?
We're going to have to listen to this, play back this one. So so the Ten of Pentacles, now that talks about also like the transition, right? Because we're moving through, there's 3 generations on that card. So it's like this generational thing. Now that too is interesting because I'm not an astrologer at all. And yet we've had the big outer planets, which are considered generational planets, to all move signs, right? So they're now in a new sign. So again, we're dealing with new resources, new energies, new ways of being and feeling all of those new things. All of those feels, right? A whole range of them. Then we have the 9 of Pentacles. Thank you. My fingers aren't quite working properly today. So the 9 of Pentacles, so where we have like the successful outcomes of the decisions that we've made financially. So from a big picture point of view, we might be able to see where is the finance gone, what is happening with the finance and the resources. There'll be some offerings and some decisions made around resources, which is time, money, energy, and all of the physical things connected back to community that we're going to see some success in, is what I'm getting for that. And then the bankers might jump on board because we've got the 6 of Wands, which is where we've got the news coming in and a little bit of victory. And that happens to be around, guess what, fucking finance and banking. So that's what that is around. So we might see some more change in there, some exposure in there.
Becoming more transparent, aren't we?
Well, definitely. That's a word, becoming more transparent, needing to give back what was taken. Right, all of that kind of thing. So this January seems to be a big thing for that. That's followed then, guess what, by another fucking pentacle, the Two of Pentacles here, which can be where, remember I said back in the beginning how there'd be more, what do you call it, equality?
Equality. Yeah.
Yeah, and the change potentially in this resource area and the need to understand it. So the need that potentially we might be playing in those two spaces for a little bit. That's what that's indicating
yeah.
as well. That's the Two of Pence is
Pentacles.
saying that we're going to be toing and froing with decisions around finance and resources, but also that as a collective, there might be two things, two ways of operating, or two spaces that you can get resources from, or that you're learning about how to manage that. So that's what that's talking about. Immediately followed by the Two of Wands. Now, the Two of Wands is an interesting card. Again, it's a two, right? So fascinating that there's two twos together. I always look at that. I'm like, oh, that might take us into what's that, April. But anyway, that's what it's saying. The wands here and the character on this particular card, the Two of Wands in the Rider-Waite deck, there's no movement per se. So basically it's a card of needing to consider how, because the world in his palm of his hands, you can maybe do more in the world, get yourself out further in the world through observation. You're not asked to do anything at the moment, but you are asked to start considering what is it about the world that is going on that maybe you can use your voice. How can I use my voice? How can I make a difference here? I have resources that I can do something with. And that's the other thing I think that might be happening from a world stage point of view is more people coming in harmony and equality and sharing what's available. This, for some reason, this is just what I'm getting. And that's followed by the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is the new ideas. Trina pointed to that earlier before. So the new ideas, the new thinking. So by the end of January, it looks like there will be new thinking about how we use our resources in the world. This is big on resources. So how we use that, who we trade with, who he share with. This seems to be a big thing. And remember, I said in the beginning, I feel like there's these newer energies that are coming in, these younger ones, younger energies. And that when I say younger, they're just physically younger. Yeah. Right. Not necessarily worldly younger, just physically younger. And what I like about this is that when the decisions are made around these things, we have the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands, I love her. Swords. Fuck, what's wrong with me today? The Queen of Swords. Thank God Trent's here. The Queen of Swords, she is the boss bitch and not to be fucked with, right? Yeah. So she's very direct in saying, this is how it is. This is what I want. And these two together, which are the last two cards, which is the Ace of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Notice those swords are both upright. That is very much about, I am here to share the truth. The truth, very much the truth. Very much the truth, and it's about like that justice, if you will, but just saying it straight as it is. Yeah. So there won't be a lot of emotion connected to this. So when I look at that, given that Tren's reading was lots of emotion, yeah, I feel like that the powers that be are very much going, well, this is how this is going to operate now. This is what we're doing. We've got some new leaders coming in, or some more fresh ideas, fresh insights coming in, fresh ways of being, looking at electricity, looking at money, that kind of thing. Some changes in there. The banking too is potentially getting a little look at, and let's be held accountable, that kind of thing. And I feel that those decisions then, to tie the two readings together, are potentially impacting the collective individually and individually, right? So that then is like, well, what do you want to take on? What is now your truth? What is not your truth? But definitely some hard truths come the end of January. I'll say so. Some very hard truths. But January itself for me looks really good. It looks really good, doesn't it? It looks really, really good. So, and you've got two, like we've talked about, the Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles, but you've got Ace of Swords and the Queen of Swords. You're very much leveling up, but you're
huge leaps and strides. You're not
Yeah.
doing just going a step and pause and a step and pause. No, no,
No,
no.
it's just bang.
It's just you're just jumping the high jump here or the pole vault.
Yeah, yeah. So I think we're going to see a
There's
lot
going to
of
be huge
things.
strides, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's really so take a photo of Lou's.
Yeah, we'll take a photo of this and wow,
So in January looks very interesting, doesn't it?
doesn't it? There you go.
So look out. So that's January. So next week we're going to do the whole of 2026.
We are.
We're going to do month by month. We'll
Yeah.
just so look out for that. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see how the whole year as in a general is going to go.
In general,
In
yeah, yeah,
general,
yeah,
how we're
in
going to go.
general.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Have an amazing day,
yes,
whatever you're doing, week, and we will catch you.
next time.
We will. Big, big love.
See you later.